What just happened? I'm Dan. That's Julia. That's Bag Face. And today we're here to talk Sugar episode 4 called Starry Eyed. So, real quick, I just want to talk about it. People were talking about it in the comments. Last week, Bagface was wondering if Sugar was maybe a vampire, and then he changed his mind to a werewolf at the end of the video. And then some people in the comments were like, hey, alien. All right. So, that's something we
Okay.
have to
Yeah.
leave our minds open to. And there's a scene very early. Backface and I talked before you joined the stream, Jules, about it.
How dare
So
you?
so when that comes up in literally 30 seconds, maybe 40, we'll talk about it. So let's jump right into it.
Okay, may I make a suggestion first?
Yes, please.
Alien werewolf. Just saying.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay,
mhm.
continue.
So it opens up with a video that Olivia made on her phone. We see a lot of these videos throughout the entirety of the episode, but the main premise is she didn't feel safe. She feels like someone was following her, someone was watching her.
But you know, at the end of the day, the joke's on you guys because I'm gonna stay here and have a great fucking day.
At the end of the episode, Sugar goes, well, hey, you were right. Turns out that seemed to be the case. So we'll talk about that as the episode goes on. So he finally goes to see this Dr. Vickers guy, right? And what does he talk about? He talks about the thing.
But instead of ribs, like a normal human being, the patient's got teeth. And they rip his arms off. Both arms.
So I wrote, sign, question mark. Is he alluding to something? And Bagface, this is when you were saying,
That I might be on Team Alien now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
it was just
So
such a
like the
weird
serum
thing to
is
put
this
in.
thing he's using is definitely like to keep him looking like a human, right?
Well, the doctor asks him.
How often are you using your intravenous drugs?
I had to look it up. Bagface looked it up. And what does it mean again? You take it in the veins.
Yeah,
Intravenous? You had to look that
men.
up?
I couldn't
Sorry.
remember if it had to do with an interval of time or
I,
like a vein.
I come from a family of nurses. Sorry, I should know that's not necessarily common knowledge.
Science isn't my thing. But he asked him about that. So we're led to believe that if he is some type of other life form, if he is an alien or whatever, that this Dr. Vickers would know about that. And,
Well, yeah.
Ruby set up the appointment and she would know about that if she has this whole cabal of aliens working for her as PIs. So
Okay,
we'll see.
hand raised. I'd like to stick to my original conclusion, which is werewolf, because I feel like that's so much easier of a pull to the tone of this show versus trying to say that there's like shape shifting aliens that need meds. The show would almost lose me if it was an alien that was shape shifting or like becoming a person. It's just like so far out there that I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be almost too far of a left swing. Where if it was werewolf,
But
I feel
a
like it fits
person
into the tone.
becoming a wolf is not.
But like, I feel like it fits the noir feel. You know what I mean? More than
Yes,
like
I
an
agree.
alien.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So
Yeah.
I'm sticking
Okay.
with werewolf.
What kind of supernatural being is Sugar? Let us know down below. So Davy and Kenny go to see Sugar's mother. They get jack shit out of it, but they think they get a lot out of it.
Oh my God, you're Davy Siegel. Oh, from the boy in the corner. Come in. Come on in.
And Bernie gets home after his night with Melanie, which we're led to believe that they slept together. That's the way it looked like anyway. And his wife's like, "You gonna come to bed?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna do some work." So he's going through photos of Rachel Kay, Olivia's mom, and Olivia when she was a newborn. So he's like reminiscing on that. I don't know what the point of that was because he doesn't really seem to care about Olivia, and I don't know if he ever cared about Rachel Kay. So did you guys get anything out of that, or why would they show us that scene?
Guilt, maybe.
Guilt?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a hint that maybe he knows what's going on with Olivia.
Yeah, not necessarily that he did anything, but at least that like he knows like what's going on. And he
I'm
just
good with
like
that.
feels guilty that he's like not saying anything about it, I guess.
So then Sugar calls Ruby to ask for information on Cliff. She's acting like she's looking into it. She's like, "Oh, I got the files right in front of me. I don't see nothing about kidnapping or anything that you're asking me about. Yeah, he's done some pretty shitty things, but nothing that you're alluding to." And then we see the shot of her computer and it's just off. So she wasn't looking into it at all. Fuck, Ruby, what the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this
I
bitch
actually
doing?
really like that shot too. I thought that was
Yeah,
clever.
it was clever, but like, what is she up to? Why? Why
I
would she
don't know,
have this
man.
information?
I don't
I
trust her.
It's such a tight knot right now. There's so many characters that I'm all realizing all because it really felt like they all weren't going to interact at the start of the show, and
Yeah.
now realizing that the circle is pretty tight. It's
Oh,
like
it's
everyone but
yeah.
Sugar.
Very
Yeah.
tight. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we find out more about Stallings and Davy later. So yeah, it's very tight. Basically, everyone's in on it
Yeah.
from my vantage point. It seems like, especially Melanie, a lot of people know way more than they're letting on. And there's like this huge conspiracy going on. And is it all because of Davy? I don't know. We'll have to see. But so Sugar goes to see Melanie. She gives him a story on Olivia that she just remembered. She's feeding him like just enough, a little bit at a time, you know what I mean, to keep him trusting her. She says she was with this girl that looked very upset, like visibly upset.
I was going to go over and say hi, but the girl she was with was such an intense conversation.
And they check to go see the place. That it was in Silver Lake, so they go check to see the place. They ask around, they go to a couple nearby shops. They end up in this other shop that the daughter and the guy working there notice Melanie.
Oh, yeah, Danny. That's Melanie Matthews.
Apparently she's like a famous pop star.
I can't even begin to say how much your music means to me.
And then this girl goes, hey, I recognize her. I know her friend Taylor, so I can set you up with that.
I know that girl. She's a friend of Taylor.
Do you know where Taylor lives, Danny?
All during this scene, we're seeing these clips of people trolling / threatening Olivia. I really liked how they cut that in throughout the whole episode.
I did too.
The editing in the show is like
it's fantastic. It's so good.
So good.
These trolls every day, they keep saying, Olivia, we see you. Olivia, we're gonna get you.
Like the very end.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love that so much.
There's one thing they do specifically. It's called a J cut, I think, where like the audio edits that they do, or like the audio's carrying over top of other clips. So I don't know why it messes with my brain so much, but it's so cool to watch.
It like makes your brain feel tingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful show. It really is. So then they go see Taylor, who was the person that was upset 6 weeks ago. And we find out more about Taylor. So she only lets him in because she respects Melanie, also because she likes one of her albums, apparently. So she's like, all right, 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. But only because Payne Station freaking rules.
They talked about Olivia working with people to get them out of abusive relationships. This pissed off Taylor. Why did it piss off Taylor? She's like, well, you should be looking in your own backyard. Then we find out a story about Davy. So he was a creep to her. He was basically like, hey, I can help you get this role. Let's go over lines. I got to come over to your house, though. It was hounding. She kept saying no. Turns out they did have sex before. He recorded it, sent that as blackmail, said, if you don't let me come have my way with you, I'm gonna leak this tape. She still said no. So it turns out that Taylor is the 8th victim that has not signed the NDA. So even she's connected. It's like every character we meet is a piece of the puzzle. It's really cool.
I got a call from a lawyer offering me money to sign an NDA about Davy. Yeah, I told her to go fuck herself too.
It's so well executed. It's been, I guess, like Constellation was kind of close, where it kind of felt like we were always getting closer to an answer. But this show really feels like we have every piece of the puzzle to get like a nice conclusion to this storyline.
Yeah. Well, and it feels, it kind of feels like what Melanie's doing to Sugar. They're just giving us just enough to keep us like kind of hooked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we're still getting answers. So like, I want to know more.
Yeah. But it's interesting that I don't know if Melanie meant to tell Sugar about Taylor. I don't know if she expected Sugar to find her, because I feel like she didn't want Sugar getting anywhere near the Bernie story.
Yeah.
Or the
not
Bernie story.
The Davy story.
Davy
story.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it still feels like Sugar's a good detective in a way, even though everyone's trying to mislead him and just like give him little pieces. But it feels like everything they're trying to hide, he's slowly getting to.
Yeah. He has that like Sherlock essence of just picking up little nuances of things.
Yeah, so, she went to the cops. Nothing happened because they're the Seagulls, and it was able to be buried for now. We see what happens later on in the episode. But yeah, so that's who Taylor is. She's that 8th victim that Davy's mom was saying, hey, I'll go take care of her. So I'm sure she'll come back into the fold very soon, especially what happens towards the end. Sugar wonders if Olivia finding out about Davy had something to do with her disappearance, because we know that Taylor told Olivia about her brother. her half brother, whatever. She had that information, she had that knowledge, and she's making all these videos saying, I'm worried that someone's following me. It's like, could that be connected? It most likely is, especially because of another later shot. I'm just trying to get you guys to watch to the end. We're going to talk about it with something that happens with someone's wearing towards the end. It's all seeming to fall into place. So Sugar's like, all right, I got to talk to Jonathan. Calls Jonathan up.
I'd rather not say over the phone.
Have you got time to meet?
He's like,
Carlos will give you an address.
so it turns out he's at a screening for one of his movies that came out 30 years ago. They're going to watch it again. He's going to do a Q&A after. It was kind of funny when Bernie and Jonathan were taking pictures together and just talking shit to each other the whole time.
You never cared about Olivia a day in your life. You were a truly terrible father.
I like
That
that.
was so good.
Yeah, they just hate each other and it's hilarious. Davey's mom goes to Sugar. What's she doing? What's her angle here?
You're the PI?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
What is she trying to do? Did she think she can outsmart him or something like that?
I think she knows that his mom wasn't real. So like she sent Davey and that other guy to go visit Sugar's mom, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
right,
they gave-
right.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he's already figured out that that's not actually his mom because she said something about it's hard to learn what's real or fake about him. So I feel like she's already
Right.
feeling like that.
Well, don't believe everything you hear, Mr. Sugar. I mean, when it comes to someone like you, I don't.
Got
Yeah.
it.
But it just, yeah, it felt like very much like her saying to him, like, I know what you're doing. I know what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay. And she even told Davey, she was like, "Hey, don't talk about this to your father yet. Wait until you see him in person. I want to think about this more." So maybe you're right. Maybe she did put that together. I think that's a good call. So then Bernie talks to Sugar. He brings up women immediately. He's not sugarcoating anything. He's like, "Hey, it's gonna come out. I know what Davey did. I know he's a piece of shit."
It's gonna come out, Bernie. Davey, the women. You trying to cover it all up?
And he asks if Davey did something to Olivia. Now this gets interrupted by Bernie's current wife, who comes over and takes him away from the situation. But then Melanie walks in and she's texting. Sugar's observant. He noticed that she's texting Bernie.
What's going on with these two? I thought Melanie had come clean, but maybe not.
And he's like, what the hell? I thought she was being straight up with me, and now she's texting Bernie. What the hell's going on with this? I got to figure
Yeah,
this
but, like,
out.
also, if you're trying to like text someone on the sly who's in the same room as you, don't continue to look up at them every time you see it, send a text. Like,
Yeah, right.
what the fuck? You're like, hello?
Yeah.
Did you get
Are
it?
you noticing me?
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you might as well just be like, hey.
Now, two signs of him maybe being an alien were these lines of dialogue here.
I've been doing this a long time, but to be honest, when it comes to people, I still have a lot to learn.
So that's the first one. And the second one is when he's talking to the projectionist. He says that
I didn't really discover movies until much later in life.
he could have been living for a long time because his obsession is like older movies. So they're just signs to me that maybe he's not human.
That's interesting. I mean, I could definitely see that. Definitely has that kind of undertone, but it's also stuff that can be easily justified.
Yeah, that's true. It could. What do you
He's
got?
not human. There's no way he's human.
No way.
No, he's old. He's way older than he looks. Like that's everything the character says, the vibe he is, what he likes, the way he talks,
just how he
his
acts.
knowledge is he's definitely way older than
He knows like every
could be.
language under the sun.
Yeah.
And also, one thing we haven't ever brought up is he can't get drunk.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah, I
not
forgot
normal.
about that.
You know what I mean? Like, what human can't get drunk? Like,
Can vampires get drunk?
I don't
No.
know.
Vampires
doubt-
can't get drunk.
How about
I doubt
werewolves?
it.
Werewolves, I
feel
don't
like a
know.
werewolf-
It depends.
I feel like a werewolf could definitely get drunk.
Animal cravings inside of her right now. She needs to get a hold of wow. I totally lost my train of thought.
werewolves have so many different rules, though. That's why I think it could be werewolf, is because vampires have pretty specific, like, character traits, I guess, in whatever medium they're in. They
Yeah.
kind of vary, but it's pretty the same. But werewolves are kind of, you can kind of do whatever you want with werewolf. That's why I feel like it's more werewolf.
Yeah, but you could also do whatever you want with a vampire. They're not real.
Okay, true. That's no fun though.
All right. Well, when he's in the projection room, he is looking at the security cameras. He's making friends with that guy, and he sees Melanie and Bernie fight. So then he's even like, all right, what the hell? I thought I had Melanie on tap. Now I definitely don't. So after the screening, Jonathan goes on stage, and then everyone's phones start lighting up with the news that Davy is a potential predator, that it got leaked somehow. So maybe Taylor did it. I don't know. It seems to be the timing of this seems to be kind of Taylor-ish. It seems like she might have did something. What do you think?
I think it's Melanie.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm
It
pretty
could
sure
be
it's
Melanie.
I think that's why they showed the shot of them fighting right before that happened. Because I think she was
Oh.
telling Bernie like it's coming.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe she made
And-
like some kind of ultimatum and he was like, nah, fuck you. And she was like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like Taylor would have done it already if she was going to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for the news to like run it, I feel like it has to be someone who would know for sure, but like isn't one of the victims, and they've all signed NDAs except Taylor. So it'd have to be someone in the family. So like,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
What if it
that
was like
Melanie's
her
close to the
mom
family.
or his mom?
Could be his mom too.
Yeah.
That's true. She seems evil enough to do that.
I feel
So-
like she would definitely do that to have some kind of like fall guy for something for like all her husband's like dumb shit that he's done.
So, their plan of burying the story has failed. It's out, and they're going to have to deal with it now. And then we see Davy's reaction. He's like, oh, fuck.
I'm so screwed.
What do I do? And while this is happening, Stallings calls him. So they're connected. And it's like, what the hell? All right. So Stallings is connected. He's like, hey, if you go down and you mention my name, I believe he said, I'm going to skull fuck your eyeballs or something along those lines.
I'm gonna skull
So-
fuck you until your eyeballs
Until your
bleed.
eyeballs bleed.
I will skull fuck you till your eyes bleed.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That was
So-
a pretty metal threat, honestly.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, let's get dinner and bang some chicks too.
Hey, when I get back, we can grab a beer, get some pussy, get your mind away from this shit.
Yeah, of course. Sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. That's what's going on with Stallings. He threatens Davy, and Davy's freaking out because he just got outed. So then we see Stallings' perspective. He's at his house, whatever. He's at the place that he's staying at, and he comes out of a room, like a closet-like room. It doesn't look very big, and he says there's a special project in the closet, and he's heading down south, and he orders his men to find out info on Sugar.
And I want to know who this Mr. Parole officer is with the good hair, all right? That's your job, shithead.
Then quickly we get the information that Jonathan survived,
Heart attack. But they say you should be fine.
and then he noticed Rachel K had on the same dress from the movie from 30 years ago in those pictures of her from the Polaroid pictures.
Why would she be wearing the same dress 30 years later?
So what would be that connection? Why would she wear that dress? Jonathan was married to that actress. And then this is Bernie's wife. Bernie's first wife is Rachel K.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's-
right.
So it's like her mother-in-law that I
Yeah,
guess.
okay.
So
Yeah.
she probably would have gotten it from Bernie, I would assume then, for some
Right.
reason.
Yeah. So why
Also-
wear that dress?
Do we know where Stallings is going? Because he like
No, he-
grabs a bunch of guns, but
He just said down south. That's all.
All right, I'm heading down south on business, but I want to keep moving on this Clifford shit, okay?
do you have any
Yeah.
assumptions? It's got to be about something in the episode. I was thinking to like maybe go kill Davy. I was
After
trying to
he
think-
just talked to him like that, though?
maybe he was trying to keep him calm, and he's just gonna. I don't know.
I mean, could be.
Or maybe Sugar.
Maybe they're going after.
they-
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they're going after Sugar.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking him as a villain. He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. So the final shot, we see Stallings' girlfriend, or lady friend, whatever. She puts on the exact chain that Olivia has on in her videos that she's making. So how did she get that chain? Stallings, Cliff, Davy, Jonathan, Bernie, it's all connected. Taylor,
Yeah.
everything's all connected. And it's just like such a mind-blowing way to end the episode to see that woman put that chain on that we've seen throughout the entire episode, because they kept putting in clips of Olivia talking on her social media accounts saying she feels threatened.
I think someone's been watching me. And I know that sounds really, really fucking paranoid, but
No, you were right, Olivia.
So like, what the hell? I thought that was great. Great way to
That was a
end
great way to tie that in too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Do you think she's in the closet?
Oh,
Now, see, that's what I was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but it almost seems too obvious.
I was
Like,
thinking.
why wouldn't she like? I mean, I guess if he like taped her mouth or something, I was gonna say, why wasn't she like screaming or kicking the door or something?
Yeah. it would be interesting if they like wrapped up the Olivia stuff earlier and we explored like what's going on with Sugar, I guess, for the ending.
That
Like
would
if
be
it's
cool.
kind of like a red herring almost, Olivia's story was the whole time, to like the show actually being about Sugar himself and like the stuff going on with his handler. I can't remember her
I
name.
mean,
right
that
now.
would make sense. It is
Ruby.
called Sugar.
Ruby, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, another great episode.
I'm scared.
We have 4 episodes left, so loving it. What do you guys think? Are you on the alien side, werewolf side, vampire side, any other side that you want to be on? Human
Alien
side?
werewolf. You
Yeah,
know.
whatever.
Jacob. You could be Team Jacob. Who knows?
Team Jacob, yeah.
No one's team. No one's team.
All right. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye, guys.
He's an oily little creep.
It's actually a really good movie.
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
That just happened.